So, yeah, Parashat Vaira, and the topic is, which many times we say it in the morning, whoever say Korbanot, the Parashat of the Akedah, Akedat Yitzchak, right? So toward after the Nisayon of the Akedah, there is a pasuk, a verse, ויקרא אברהם שם המקום ההוא, השם יראה, אשר יאמר היום בהר השם ייראה. Right? So יראה, ייראה, יראה is like Hashem will look, and ייראה, it's like he will be seen. So הרב הקדוש המגיד מקוזניץ, זכותו להגנו עלינו, in his book, עבודת ישראל, he bring from the Gemara Yerushalmi that וצא אברהם, ואמר, right, Abraham was davening to Hashem, and he said, Hashem dechame velo metmache, which means like Hashem is looking or is not looking. And he explained that when they're putting a person in a nisayon, then they're taking away from him his levels, his achievements. Because if he have his levels, his achievement, right, in the time of the nisayon, then it's not a real nisayon. So like they're stripping him out from what he has, and now see how you deal with that. Why? Because when a person knows that he's standing in front of the mighty king and he see everything that he do, then it's not like a big deal for him to pass the test, because if you really know during the time, you have this awareness that Hashem is actually looking at you, you will pass the test, you will pass it, you will not going to fail. But when the time of the Nisayon, again, he's been stripped from all his achievement and his level, and suddenly he doesn't see anything, he doesn't think, he doesn't have his brain, his wisdom. Now let's see how you're passing the test. And this is what happened when Hashem tested Abraham with the Akedah. So all his madregot, his high madregot, were taken away from him, including cleaving to Hashem. And this is in Mefarish, the Pasuk explained in the third day, right, when they're walking with the boys, right, with Ishmael and Yitzchak, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he says, "V'isa Avraham et einav v'yar et hamakom merachok." So he lifted up his eyes and he saw the place from distance. So he said, it's a hint, a makom, right? What is the makom? A place. What is the makom? But the makom also is a name of Hashem. Mekomo shel olam. Hashem is the place of the world. V'yar hamakom merachok. And he saw the place from distance after all the preparation that he did, because Hashem commanded him to take Yitzchak, right, and bring him up to the mountain and slaughter him. So 3 days he was preparing for that. But still, to him, he felt that Hashem is far, far away from him. So Abraham was assuming or thinking, he like conditioned the feeling that Hashem is far away from him because of the boys that were with him. And it says in the Chazal that the time that Lot was with Avram, right? Like the Shekhinah didn't reveal to Hashem when Lot was him. Only after Lot went to Sodom, then the Shekhinah started to reveal to Avram. And therefore he said to the boys, right, not to Yitzchak, to Eliezer and Ishmael, right? Sit here with the donkey. Sit here with the donkey. Why? Because he thought again that all the revelations and the achievement, his level madrigot, will come back to him. So he said, "Oh, because I'm working with them, the Shekhinah is not revealed to me because of them." Like the same thing it was with Lot. So he let them stay with the donkey.
He right? wanted to distance himself. He needed to distance himself so he could.
Yeah, from them. Yeah. This is what he assumed. But this is what happened. It continued. Like the Shekhinah was not with him, right? Again, Shekhinah was with him all the time, but it's looked to him that it wasn't until the Nisayon completed. Then Hashem told him, don't do it, don't do it. Then suddenly eyes opened. And this is one of the explanations. V'ikra Avraham Shem HaMakom Hahu Hashem יראה, right? That Hashem will see. Sometimes he sees, sometimes he doesn't. But now he acknowledged that. Now he sees that actually Hashem always looking at the person. Even the time of a hiding, when Hashem hide himself, Hashem is looking at us. And that's truly. Hashem never removed his protection or supervision and his eyes metaphorically from us. But we don't see that. And this is what Abraham was actually understood during the Akedah. That even the time that he thought that he's away from Hashem, Hashem is distanced from him, it's because of Eliezer, because of Ishmael, whatever. No, Hashem was always with him. But in order for him to be able to really face the test, these feelings or these wrong assumptions should come to him. And according to that, it says in the Torah Tavot, on the Pasuk, Va'elokim nisa et Avram, right? Hashem tested Avram, and the name is Elokim, right? Which is the judgment, the fear. It's Bechinat Tzimtzum, right? So Tzimtzum is something narrow, something that, again, metaphorically, Hashem doesn't have a size, but the attribute of Elokim is Tzimtzum, which means din, judgment. There is only black and white, no gray area. That's it. Not necessarily a size, but it is yes or no. While the name of Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, is Shem of Revacha. It's like expanded. It's a Shem of charity, love, kindness. There's no size here. But the name of Elokim, that's like, you don't want to mess with Elokim, right? We want mercy. So he said, so that's why it says, Elokim nisat Avram. He tried Avram, right? Which is the judgment, the level of judgment, the midah of tzimtzum. That in the time of the Nisayon, everything was taken away from him. And he had the katnut amuchim. It said like, it's a Kabbalistic terminology, which is like a narrow mind, spiritually. Ve'omar elav Avraham, right? Ve'omar hineni. So Hashem is calling him and said, yeah, I'm here. So it means in any situation, in any condition, I'm here the same way I was before. While I was in a high level, when I was in a low level, I'm always with you. I'm always giving my soul to you, Hashem, to do your will. In the time of the peak of the light and the peak of the darkness. And that nisayon of the Akedah was actually stalkut hadat. That was like his wisdom went away. An explanation, and it says that when Avraham Avinu was cleaving to Hashem, he was in a very high level. Then any nisayon that Hashem put him through was nothing, because he's always with Hashem. But now with the Akedah, he's alone. Look like, right? Look like. And according to that, we should say what the angel told Avraham after the Nisayon, right? Ata yadati kireh Elokim ata. Now I know that you fear Hashem. Although the level, the midah of Avraham was love and kindness, but in the Nisayon, we said that Elokim was testing, that was the midah of din. Avraham was like attaching himself to the level of Yitzchak, which was also fear, or and dinim and judgment, in order for him to be able to slaughter his son, because he loved him. How can he do that? So that's why when he was about to do it, he almost did it. He just left a small little mark. He did like a small cut to Yitzchak to leave some kind of impression. The angel said, which is actually Hashem, said, oh, now I know that you also have the level of fear, not only love. Right? Also fear. Okay. And this parasha is actually teaching us how we should actually pass all the other nisyonot. And this is what it says, after the test, V'ikra Avraham Shem HaMakom Hu Hashem Yireh, right? As the Targum said, sometimes Hashem sees, sometimes not, but Hashem is always with us. And when he came back to his level, right? Then he said, oh, Hashem is with me the whole time. As the Baal Hashem Tov HaKadosh says on the Pasuk in Dvarim, Vanochi aster astir, right? That Hashem is telling us that in the time of difficulties, when we are not behaving according to what Hashem wants us, then Hashem have a double hiding, aster astir. He said, like, we know that Hashem is hiding, but inside that is even more hiding himself. So even we don't even realize that. To us, it's look like. And also it says on the pasuk, "Bikashtem misham et Hashem elekacha," and you requested Hashem, you demanded, you asked, you yearning to Hashem from there, from the darkness, from the double hidden. And this is infinite. This is left for us, to all the generation. From that Nisayon of Abraham, this level of, even if we don't feel it, but we learn it, we have to repeat again, Hashem is always with us. Hashem is always with us. I think it's like a pilot in vertigo. We have to trust the instruments. Even if the pilot knows that, no, I have to pull because I'm going down. But the instrument telling him, no, you're actually going down. You have to turn yourself and pull up. Crashing, 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 low altitude, low altitude. The pilot said, no, instruments are wrong. 99.9% the instruments are right. That's vertigo. So even when we are in vertigo, we always need to remind ourselves Hashem is always with us, even if it doesn't look like. And that thing left with us after the Nisayon of Abraham and the Akedah. And this is the Galut. This is all the thing that is actually in the exile, in the diaspora, which it seems to be like Hashem left us. Left as a nation and left each and every individual. But again, it's only look like. And all the nisyonot that we have, each individual have his nisyonot, and we have as a nation, right? When we went down to Babel, to Iraq, the suffering was unbearable, right? We have that Tehillim, right? Al Narod Babel, we sat over there and we were crying, right? Why? Because we thought that Hashem threw us away and we were broken, because this is something we cannot really bear. It's unbelievable. We cannot have that. We can suffer with the punishment, but to be thrown away from Hashem, that's impossible. And then Hashem called all this Pamalia, all the angel, everything, and look at them. Look at Bnei Israel, how they're crying. And he came down with us, right? The Shekhinah was exiling with us. And then we understood, right? Because we had the prophecy of Yechezkel and Navi. He was there in Babel, right? And he said, Hashem with you here in the exile, and then we'll be happy, right? Samchu Yisrael simcha gdola. And then all the suffering and everything, again, they didn't stop the suffering, but we could actually take it. We could take it. And he says, Bechol atar de Israel galu, any place that we in exile, right? Galut aman, shchinta galta imon. The Shekhinah is with us. As the Zohar HaKadosh says. That special level that always Hashem with us. He never removed himself from us. But it's look like he did. Only look like. Right? And above that, we have the time of the exile. Imo anochi betzara. Right? So this pasuk, we also say in the morning, before Hashem, while Hashem was revealing himself in the burning bush to Moshe, it says, Imo anochi betzara. I'm with them in the troubles. Bechol tzaratam lo tzar. When we suffer, when we are in a narrow place, Hashem also with us in that narrow place. And it says, Ala pasuk kikraeni v'aineu. They will call us, and I will answer. So kriya is something from distance, right? When you're calling somebody, you have to raise your voice because it's distance. So if a Jew feel that he is calling Hashem from distance, only then I will reply. But if a Jew feel that imo anochi betzara, az achaltzeu. So he can reply, right? So what's the difference? If a Jew feel that he is calling Hashem from distance, like, oh, Hashem is far, far, far away from me, I'm calling him, Hashem will reply. You're screaming, Hashem! Hi, I'm here. That's it. But if a Jew will really understand that Hashem is with us in the trouble and he will call him, then Hashem will save him. I will honor him and I will rescue him. That's the difference, big difference. He said also once that when a Jew is davening about his trouble and he doesn't have a reply, there is an advice. He said very difficult advice, like it's very difficult to do it, but he says, put aside your request, your personal request, and just request on the Shekhinah, ask for Mashiach, ask for Hashem to be able to come down to this world. Because really, all our troubles, all our requests, right, to get married, to get children, to have Parnasa, whatever, cruise to the Caribbean, they're all nonsense. We should daven that Hashem will be able to come down to this world and he will have a Migdash and we have the Mashiach and that's it. This is what we should. And then the rest will come. But we always concentrate and focus on our own problems, naturally. Naturally. That's why I said that's the biggest advice, but this is the most difficult one, to not to request on ourselves, only for the Tzar Shechina. And this is what we're requesting. Barchenu avinu kulanu, right? Bless us, our Father, all of us, like one person, in the light of your face. Because all the suffering, all the torturing that we have, it's only from the, it said, from the hesterim, from the hiddens, that we don't feel Hashem, and we feel ourselves very far, far away from Him. And this is what we're asking. Hashem, bless us with the light of your face, because, you know, usually someone's face is when he's really close to you. So we want to be closer to Hashem. We want to see the light. And if we will feel it, and we will remember that, then we are lacking nothing. Lacking nothing. Right? When it says, Aretz hayta tohu vavohu, right? The earth was like big chaotic things, and the light and the darkness, and then Hashem said, let there be light. That light, a spiritual light, actually made Hashem closer. And this is what we're asking Hashem, you know, in the time of darkness, please, light the way. And that's why it says, that's why Avraham, after the Nisayon, he called the name of the place. He said, Shem HaMakom Hahu, Hashem Ir'eh, Hashem will look, right? And then Hashem will be seen. So Bezat Hashem, you know, we should always have the knowledge and